What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very, very interesting or bad news, however you choose to look at it. As former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman has made his ring return after a 2.5 year layoff after suffering the only blemish on his resume to legendary 8 division world champion iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pacman Pacquiao July 2019. Keith Thurman, who made his ring return against former WBA junior welterweight regular champion Mexican star boxer Mario Barrios this past Saturday. Keith Thurman, he got a unanimous decision victory over Mario Barrios. Keith Thurman is now 30 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout, 33 years of age, 5'7" with a 69-inch arm reach. Okay, Keith Thurman, he waved his hand and raised his hand when undefeated 3 division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO welterweight world champion, and widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound for pound fighter in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford is 38 wins, no losses, no draws, 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. He took on a rival foe of Keith Thurman and 2-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Sean Porter. That was November 20th of 2021 in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Mandalay Bay Arena, where Terence Crawford got a 10th round stoppage victory over Sean Porter, dropping Sean Porter twice in the 10th round. So saw Sean Porter's father, trainer, and manager, Kenny Porter, waved the white towel and said that he has saw enough. There's a rival foe, Keith Thurman. He fought Sean Porter and he won a decision over Sean Porter. Okay, so with that said, after Sean Porter lost to Keith Thurman, after Sean Porter lost to Terence Crawford, Keith Thurman, he waved his hand. He said that he saw nothing special in Terence Crawford outside of the fact that Terence Crawford was able to close the show against Sean Porter, but he never saw anything that resembled the boogeyman in his eyes that would garner him not to want to fight Terence Bud Crawford. Okay. He stated that, Terence Crawford, is a good fighter, but he's no boogeyman in the division. Okay, so now keep in mind, Keith Thurman fought Sean Porter June 25th of 2016, and he won a unanimous decision in a close fight, defending his WBA title against Sean Porter. And then Keith Thurman, he fought 2 division world champion, at the time was undefeated Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia, March of 2017. Okay, so he fought once in 2016 with Sean Porter, and then he fought once in 2017 against Danny Garcia, won a split decision, unifying the titles. Then he took another hiatus for 2 years, came back. He fought Josito Lopez January of 2019. Then he fought Manny Pacquiao, lost his WBA title. He lost his WBC title due to inactivity. With that said, Keith Thurman, he stated that, he saw nothing special in Terence Crawford. Now, keep in mind, Terence Crawford, he had waved his hand and stating that when he came to the welterweight division, his #1 objective was to secure a fight with Keith Thurman, because to beat a man, you have to beat the man. And he thought that Keith Thurman was the best welterweight in the world. Okay. So that means that Terence Crawford has always been interested in a fight with Keith Thurman, okay? So after Keith Thurman witnessed the fight, Keith Thurman, he raised his hand and he stated that, give me 8 months and I'll definitely fight Terence Bud Crawford. I can make it happen. We can make that fight happen, okay? And so with that said, Keith Thurman, he came back. He fought Mario Barrios. And now suddenly, that 8 months would have been from the time he stated it was in November. Okay, so you say December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That's right on schedule with Keith Thurman's last comeback after his first hiatus. When he came back, he fought Josito Lopez in January. Then he fought Manny Pacquiao in July. Okay, now when Terence Crawford got word of this, when Terence Crawford, oddly enough, was on Sean Porter's podcast, the Porterweight Podcast, Terence Crawford was reminded of the comments, or made aware of the comments Keith Thurman made about fighting him in 8 months, which would mean July. And Terence Crawford said that Keith Thurman must not be too confident in himself, because why we have to wait so long? But if in July is the time, then I will definitely oblige him. Okay, so with that said, fast forwarding, Keith Thurman, he decided that Now, after the fight, he was asked about it. Things have settled, adrenaline has settled down, and he was asked about Terence Crawford, and suddenly Keith Thurman has turned it back into a business. Keith Thurman has stated that, it's good that Terence Crawford has parted ways with his longtime promoter, top ranked legendary CEO Bob Arum and ESPN, because and Top Rank, because no fighter likes to do business with Bob Arum. He makes things very difficult. So it's a great thing that Terence Crawford has now parted ways with Bob Arum, and it should make things easier. But at the end of the day, Keith Thurman says it is all about business from here on out. It's no longer about just making the biggest fights. It's no longer about fighting just the best. It's now going to be a business for me from here on out. Wow. Okay. This is coming from Keith Thurman, who once upon a time told Paulie Malignaggi, who was the champion, "Don't duck me, son." Okay, that's what Keith Thurman said. Then Keith Thurman, he stated, "I got an O, I ain't afraid to let it go." Then Keith Thurman said, "It's not about money. I got money." Then Keith Thurman said, "I ain't afraid to let it go, the O." Okay. I'm a fighter. That's what I do. That's what Keith Thurman stated. Okay, so this is abundantly clear now. Keith Thurman has admitted that he has 1 foot in the sport of boxing and 1 foot out of the sport of boxing. Okay, Keith Thurman again has went on 2 hiatuses. He's had 3 fights in 5 years. Okay, since 2019, and actually, if you factor in the fact that he only fought once in 2016, once in 2017, then went on a 2-year hiatus, fought twice in 2019, then went on another 2.5-year hiatus, and then fought once in 2.5 years. And now he's talking about it's a business. It's like a retirement plan for Keith Thurman now. It doesn't seem like Keith Thurman is looking to be the best. In my opinion, Keith Thurman didn't look like the greatest fighter against Mario Barrios, a fighter he was made to look great against. Okay, he didn't display, the great Keith Thurman that I saw against Sean Porter and Danny Garcia and guys of that nature. Okay, he looked like, he looked like he lost his step. He looked slower. Okay, he looked very muscular, like he was working on his body. But again, he showed another glaring weakness and vulnerability to the body, as he did against Luis Collazo, as he did against Josito Lopez, as he did against Manny Pacquiao in the 10th round of their fight, when he had to spit out his mouthpiece, run around the ring, maneuver around the ring to make sure he survived the round. Okay, and he did so once again twice against Mario Barrios, who was a junior welterweight, okay, that was brutally knocked out and knocked down 3 times in his last fight before this fight, who himself was on a layoff as well, since he lost to a super featherweight and Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay, this was an order made for Keith Thurman to look great against, and Keith Thurman, in my opinion, he did not look great. Okay, Keith Thurman, he cited the reason that he had so many hiatuses in his career was simply because of the injuries that he suffered. Okay, well, now Keith Thurman has made it a business. When many people speculated, is Keith Thurman just looking to cash out? The WBC, World Boxing Council President Mauricio Suleiman, and the board had decided to make this a title eliminator for Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios, although Keith Thurman has never defended his WBC title. Now, he won it against Danny Garcia, but that was it. He never defended it, and Mario Barrios never held it, never fought for it, and never defended his title. But yet the WBC decided to make this a title eliminator for April 16th mega unification showdown between undefeated unified WBC IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 3 best pound for pound fighters in the world, and Earl the True Spence Jr., who will be taking on WBA, World Boxing Association's welterweight super champion, Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas, April 16th. As I told you guys, that was going to happen. Okay, so now Keith Thurman is in position to be the mandatory challenger for them. So now, when it comes to Terence Crawford, now Keith Thurman, he took this approach when it came to him and Errol Spence Jr., when he had the opportunity to unify the belt against Errol Spence Jr. and fight Errol Spence in a mega massive showdown. Keith Thurman chose to take the scenic route and say he was allowing a fight with Errol Spence to build up, because he viewed the Errol Spence fight as his mega showdown with Errol Spence, like Floyd Mayweather had with Manny Pacquiao. Well, he actually got to fight Manny Pacquiao and he came up short. And now he's saying that it's a business when it comes to Terence Crawford now. Okay, so it's looking like Keith Thurman again is not interested in building his legacy. It's looked like Keith Thurman, when he used to say "Don't duck me, thun," and when Keith Thurman used to say "I got an O, I ain't afraid to let it go," and now Keith Thurman was saying "I'm one time for a reason. I'm not gonna lose no more." Well, Keith Thurman, I believe, has turned into a business for Keith Thurman, no longer about his legacy. When Keith Thurman used to say, "Well, it's not about money. It's about my legacy. I got enough money." Well, now it has turned into a business with Keith Thurman. And now he's telling the world that it's about a business with Terence Crawford. And we got to see how the split is going to play out with Terence Crawford. And I'm focusing on the WBC route. But Errol Spence has no interest in fighting Keith Thurman because of the same approach Keith Thurman took with him years ago and never making their fight happen, which Errol Spence vowed, "I'm never going to fight Keith Thurman. If the road to undisputed has to go through Keith Thurman, oh well, I will never be undisputed at welterweight. I'll just move up to junior middleweight." So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.